live.
Hey, what is up, Facebook fam? We are coming to you live, episode 11. The date is March 15th, 2021. We're going to get into it again one more time. Yo, Mike, so what we're going to get into today?
Yeah, so today we're going to talk a little about some brokerage accounts. Before we get into that, though, let's go over our weeks real quick, how it was last week, and we move forward from there. But so my week last week was okay. You know, we started the comebacks. Those comebacks started happening. Actually, it was actually better than okay, to be honest. It was rough 2 weeks ago. So coming into last week, we started coming back. I wasn't able to do anything. I wasn't able to close any positions as it was. But coming into today, you know, it was the first time I had a 40-day position, guys. 40-day position that I had two of those that I finally closed today. So, you know what I'm saying, we are in good shape on these longer positions, actually this long downturn. So we were able to close two positions today, get some books and profit, and we're gonna parlay that into hopefully the rest of this week to continue to close positions. So last week was really good. Going into this week was even better. So I like it so far. Go ahead, Schizzo.
Question on that, Mike. So you closed two of your March 19th, is what you're saying?
Yes.
And
yes,
what percent
did
you have to come down off your percent some?
No. Same percentage as normal. One, I actually closed a little too early. I wasn't paying attention. I did it basically. I $10 too short on one of those, but that was really more of my fault than anything else because I did my numbers wrong. But yeah, did same. I'm still at the 55 or so percentage when I went ahead. Everything works good there. So you know we're in a situation where I'm on the edge right now. Everything right now seems to be like right at the money. And we hope that tomorrow, we need tomorrow to be a good day. So we need positive vibes only. And everybody that's running CCs, hey, let them die. Have no remorse. Have no remorse for none of
y'all. So yeah, well, I am. Last week I did do the CCs. Gonna do the same thing this week. Just a couple of those. And I don't know, I think maybe one or two puts, see how the week goes, see if I can get some puts off this week too. But I did mainly CCs last week with a couple puts this week so far. Same thing, just CCs, and then got one put so far. Maybe try to get squeeze another two, maybe try to squeeze another two in if I can. But, just waiting to see kind of how it goes. But yeah, we're getting a bounce back. So we'll just see how it holds, if it continues up.
How about you, Ghost? Where you at?
I did okay last week. I just ran a couple calls. I was pretty aggressive, so I got assigned in Square. I got assigned in Jumia. I got assigned in Trade Desk and Overstock, OSTK. I got assigned in all four of those, but they opened up this past Monday at the money, so I just ran the puts at the money. So, I'm doing pretty good right now, and it's looking like it's trying to stabilize, and, stabilizing is always good for the wheel. So I just got all my CCs going. I did add some more puts for Satchel to expire on Friday. I do have a bunch of puts at the 42 mark. I got a feeling I'll get assigned this Friday on those, but I'll just run just aggressive cover calls if I get assigned upstairs. So I'm really not, as long as it's not too far off from where my strike is, my premium for those cover calls is still going to be pretty lucrative. So I'm doing pretty good.
That's good. So do you plan on running anything? You plan on moving anything this week? Trying to do anything more this week? It looks like the market's going in an up market right now. So you plan on running anything new this week?
Well, I already remember I ran some March 19th last week anyway, so I'm waiting on those to expire at the end of this week. I just opened up those puts that I got assigned on running a couple calls. So I just literally just opened the same positions on the flip side. I'm doing puts and couple calls, and they're all at the money because they all kind of like, for example, Overstock, I got assigned at 70. It went all the way up to 75, and that was at like 71. So I just did the 70s again where I got assigned. Square, I got assigned at 240. It peaked up to like 251 today. And so, it was good for me to do my 240 puts, around that same mark that I got assigned at. Jumia shot up to 50, I think, as well. And I got assigned at 45 in that. So I just ran the 45 again. And then Trade Desk, it went as high as 7. I think 740 or 750, but I got assigned at 735. So I just did the 735 again.
How about you, Schizzo? Where you at? Anything you running this week? Anything you think about doing this week? Or what's your, actually, before you get that, what's your like trade of the week last week? What was your, I want you to do this segment. What's like your trade of the week or the best thing you did last week in the market?
Shoot, I don't even know, bro.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I'd have to look back at the at my history there, because you know they all kind of just taking what you can get type of trade. So I didn't have a killer. It was probably, but you know, it was probably something to do with TNA. You know, that's what I go to. So it's probably a put on TNA.
That's a bet. That's a bet. That's a bet. Okay. Shoot. I mean, so I guess all the last. Go ahead.
I had a question for you guys. On the Tesla. How is I hadn't been following it the last week or so. So did it bounce back? Because I know it took a pretty good hit. Is it coming back?
So it's coming back.
It went as far as
598, 5 something.
Is it in the fives?
It went
for a little bit. For a little bit. For a little bit. So now
that's the pain,
today,
bro.
It was rough. So today it's at 7.
It was in the 8s, right? It was in the 8s.
It was like 860, 880 or something of that nature. Yeah, we had about a 300-point drop. Yeah, it was rough. It was mad rough. So
we already back in the low 700s. So I mean, when you down a Tesla, you're not down for long.
Right.
Yeah. So
we like it forever when you're down, but right now I think it peaked at like 711 today. So
okay.
That's like 89 points away from 800 again.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's back in the 7s. Okay. But yeah,
so
that was definitely some pain though. If it went from 8 to 5 to high 5s. Ooh.
Yeah, it went significantly below my cost basis. Go ahead. Go.
If you just got your cover calls going, when it dips like that, even though you're kind of like, damn, you can close those cover calls and just wait for it to creep back up and run another cover call, and it with the same expiration date, so you can get some more premiums out of it when you take advantage of that little dip. And that's the thing about Tesla is whenever you're running, if you're running selling calls or you're doing cover calls or you're doing cash cover puts, like so let's say it peak, you do a cover call and then it tanks like $100, you can close and it'll probably recover by the end of the week, so you can run it again for the same expiration date. Or let's say you run a put and it shoots all the way up to, let's say you have like a 750 put and it runs all the way up to like 900 or something. Go ahead and get out of that and then wait for it to fluctuate again and then redo the same thing at the next expiration date. You can squeeze more puts out. You can still squeeze more premiums out of it. So that's the fun thing about Tesla. It fluctuates all through the week. If you got the time to look at the chart really, really closely, you can play multiple. You can go multiple times on the same weekly if you want to.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
With Tesla, it's still moving right now. It's going in the right position. It was pretty stagnant, for about a week there or so, a week or two. It was kind of staying in that, between 640 and 690 basically. Just kind of staying like right in that same zone where you wanted to kind of rise up. But like I said, we're getting back into some. Looks like the market is kind of recovering a little bit in the last couple of weeks. So hopefully we can see the same momentum go forward. But let's go into today's topic though. So we're not just talking about Tesla and talking about last week. Let's just kind of roll into today's topic and okay. I guess today's topic, we want to really talk about brokerage accounts. People always ask, what's the proper brokerage account and what's the right brokerage account to use? And then we just want to kind of go over our personal experiences with brokerage accounts. So anybody wants to start it off, and we just kind of talk about our personal experiences and what we like and what we dislike about the brokerage accounts that we use, or what you would recommend for somebody, a first timer, to start with.
I'll go last because I probably touched the most brokers, so I'll go last and then just touch on them which y'all didn't talk about.
Sounds good. Okay. Ghost, you want to go or want me to go?
You can go first and I'll go ahead.
Okay. So if y'all don't know what the group does, is I'm an E-Trade guy. I love E-Trade. It has a really powerful platform. Now, E-Trade has a regular E-Trade platform and a platform they call Power E-Trade. I probably use 99% of the time I make a trade through the Power E-Trade platform. So the Power E-Trade platform, it used to be the old Options House platform. Doesn't mean much to y'all, but it's just a better way to go ahead, a better way to go about and trade options or stocks. It gives you a lot more information. It's a lot more streamlined, and it's a lot more intuitive. So personally, I always, if somebody asks me what brokerage account to use, I'm always going to E-Trade. In addition to that, the fees are relatively low. If you open a position on stock, it's 0%, $0 commission on stocks, and on options, it's going to be 50 cents per trade, per contract, on options. Other brokerages are free, but I do like how the E-Trade, when you place an order, it executes very quickly, and it seems like the bid-ask spreads are pretty tight. So I like it, and also the mobile platform is really nice as well. I mean, if I do most of my trades on Power E-Trade, I'll see on my mobile phone, I probably do like 65% of my trades. I don't need 9,000 different screens. So I always recommend E-Trade as a great platform. And these other guys might talk about some other ones. So that's going to be my recommendation. But I can go into further ones as well after y'all get an opportunity to speak.
What are the cons of E-Trade?
I would say that
he just in love with E-Trade.
I love E-Trade. Yeah,
no disadvantages.
I would say the biggest con of E-Trade, honestly, is that I want to create, this is probably more of a con of myself, is I want to be able to get the information out of E-Trade and put that into an Excel sheet easier so that I can do some more manipulation of data outside of E-Trade. And that this is probably more of a lack of knowledge on my part. So I think that would be one of them. I think another one would be that when you look at positions in E-Trade sometimes, especially if you're running credit spreads, the E-Trade platform creates its own, even if you have a 100-point wide credit spread and you have like 4 of them, or you're running a lot of credit spreads or whatever you're doing, it'll create its own credit spread of what it thinks your credit spread should be, as opposed to what you have an order set up for it in a positions tab. So I've never really liked that a lot. I guess another one would be it has a fee, right? But that's never good, right? I wish it was free completely across the board. I don't want to pay 50 cents per trade. I want to pay 0 cents per trade. Take my information and then have 0 cents per trade. So that's going to be a negative of it, right? Compared to other brokerages, I am paying a per trade fee on options trade. And since we're doing options trading here, this definitely does cut into my end of year total. So, that is a negative.
What about risk management and margin calls?
And it's pretty good. So good point, right? And that's another positive, right? Well, let's talk about margin specifically. In E-Trade, you get the ability to run naked puts and potentially naked calls, which I know some other brokerages don't give you that same ability to do. Since I'm able to run naked calls, or naked puts, and naked calls, I'm able to kind of leverage my position where I'm not really taking on a stock risk, and I'm also taking on, and I'm able to take on potentially greater amount of positions as opposed to just covered calls, So I really like that, or just cash covered puts. So I really like the ability to run a lot more puts, because it gives me in an up market situation, I'm really able to kind of load up my account like it was last year. It really is to load up my account on naked puts, and as the market continues to creep, hey, it's great. Margin, on a margin call specifically, it's not terrible, because I've been given 5 days a lot of times, 5 or 6 days market days, market days to fulfill my margin call, right? So that does give me enough time to at least either close the position, add additional funds into my account, and it's not an immediate margin call. So, with those, I think that E-Trade is a pretty solid brokerage, and I've used other ones as well, TD Ameritrade, Robinhood, Fidelity, and I think that for my personal liking, that's great. One thing bad, my last thing I'll say about E-Trade though, is the research platform, it cannot hold a candle to Thinkorswim. Thinkorswim research is the best platform that I've seen if you want to research stock options or anything.
What I was getting at with that was I said risk management. I meant to say risk protections. there's not many risk protections from E-Trade, which can be a good or a bad thing depending on how advanced you are as a trader. So that can be for or against you. If you know what you're doing, obviously you can be more aggressive, you can make more money.
Yes.
But if you're a beginner and you try to hop into something like that, you have to be more careful about getting margin calls. You know,
and
that's like a double-edged sword where there's not many risk protections, and that's kind of a segue into Robinhood. So Robinhood and Fidelity are the two things I use, but what I use absolutely first and foremost, mostly between the two, is Robinhood. It's very, very simple. It's easy to use. It does allow some complex data like level 2 data. It does have some slight technical analysis, but it's more on the fundamental side of things. They do have risk protections to protect you from a margin call or protect you from becoming a pattern day trader. They do have these things in place to prevent you from losing too much money. So an advanced trader might see that as a turnoff, but you know, sometimes it's good to have that gurney there so that way you don't hit the ground when you fall out the building. You know, another thing is they do have free commissions as well on stock trades and options trading. So it lets you do both, but it doesn't let you short stocks, which is in a way that is also an advanced tactic. It doesn't show you like a lot of the technicals like VWAP, MACD, those kind of parameters that people use for day trading. It doesn't let you use that yet, but it does let you trade cryptocurrencies and things like that as well. So it's slowly, and it actually it's going to start allowing people to transfer cryptocurrencies in and out of their account. So it's like they're going to give you your private wallet. So every day they're making new and newer and newer features and adding it to the program. But it's really, really great for beginners that need those protections there to allow them to at least learn before they get more aggressive. There's a tier platform that you have to get to. It's a tier 1, a tier 2, and a tier 3. It lets you proceed to those next levels based on how well you've been trading and how you've been managing your money. And I think they look at it more of is your input constantly exceeding your output? Like, are you making more money than you're losing money? And they see that you're growing, they start to trust you, they start to let you go up tiers into options and call spreads and things like that. They also let you do instant deposits to allow you to deposit money, and they'll front you until your funds clear the bank. That's usually like a 2 to 3 day process, but they'll give you access to that money immediately so that way you can use it for trading. So that's another pro to Robinhood. But the cons are there are some technicals that you don't have access to, at least not yet. But as far as a beginner goes, that should be fine as a beginner. It's good to have a simplistic broker, and it's good to have a more complex, advanced broker as well. That's why I have a Robinhood and a Fidelity. Fidelity has everything Robinhood has: free commissions, free everything, and you get access to that level 2 data, and you get access to technical analysis. So it's good to have one and the other. Like I'm Robinhood and Fidelity. Mike does just
I have each. I mean, I have each. I do have a Robinhood account. I have traded in Robinhood. I have E-Trade. I have a Robinhood, and I have a TD Ameritrade account. I have 3 and a Schwab account, as well. So I do have
the most used. The most.
E-Trade, most
followed by that
yes.
is what?
Yes.
And followed by that is Robinhood. You use Robinhood second most after E-Trade.
But probably Schwab. I'll probably use Schwab the next. It's going to be E-Trade, then Schwab, then Robinhood, then TD Ameritrade.
Yeah, and so Robinhood is also not only my advanced broker, but it also has my retirement accounts. It has my 401ks, my 403bs, it has my Roth and traditional IRAs. So it's good for me to manage that. I manage those accounts far less aggressively than my broker account. But it's good to have two: one fundamental, one simple one, and one advanced one. That's the best way to go. But there's a ton of options. Those are just my two.
One thing I'll say for Robinhood, which I think does better than E-Trade, is the margin rates. I think at 2.5%, that's great. You know, you're not getting any kind of loan at that rate, and that's almost next to the risk rate of return. That's one really good advantage of Robinhood versus a E-Trade or anything of that nature. Okay, Schizzo.
Yeah. So I guess one thing to clarification. So when you go to level 2 on Robinhood, I know the moving averages are there. You're saying the MACD averages aren't there? Because I thought I've seen those technical studies and things there.
I haven't seen them. No, I just see the ask and the bid. I got the whole left and the right. I get to see the little graph at the top, but I don't see VWAP, MACD, and 13 cloud, 34 cloud. I don't see any of that on there yet. At least maybe unless they're rolling it out in waves, and I didn't see it, and I haven't gotten it yet.
If you're interested in TA technical analysis at all on Robinhood, you might want to check that top graph because it's been there this whole time we've been doing this strategy. There's a graph, and then you can add your moving averages up there at the top if you want. I don't know how extensive it is as far as you talking about clouds and things like that, but they definitely have moving averages, and I think MACD and things you can add at the top on Robinhood where that graph is that you're talking about when you go into the level 2. Mike, speaking on your cons, bro, you said you'd like a way to export into Excel from E-Trade?
Yes.
You saying you would like to be able to export into Excel, period, or you can't at all?
No, so I.
And Mike, and what was it that you were trying to export? Your trades, your history of trades?
No, well, not my history of my trade. So what I would like, honestly, is every time you make a trade, you get a trade confirmation, right? And I would love to get the data in that trade confirmation into Excel. Specifically, like I want to know when I open a trade, I want to understand my delta, my gamma, my theta, so that I can monitor and track those over time to see how those are affecting my account. And I can use that against my premium collected to see if this is actually a good trade or a bad trade, right? I started having a really extensive Excel sheet that really kind of encompasses as much information as possible. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. And E-Trade is not bad, and it's more of an API issue and more of an issue that I just don't know how to get that properly. I know you can get that. I just don't have the fundamental skills to do that just yet. So I think that's going to be across the board. Robinhood, E-Trade, anything will also have those same kind of limitations personally.
So you just successful your trades as far as what your delta values were when you made the trade?
When I made the exact second I made it, I want to know my delta the exact second I made it, so I can understand that so I can understand exactly how, is this a good trade, or right now is this a good trade compared to my trade I had 6 months from now. You know what I'm saying? Like if the price is still the same 6 months from now, or it's relatively close to what the price is today, and the delta value is the same, but implied volatility might be different, or even implied volatility is the same. What is my actual my premium that I'm receiving? So I can just compare and contrast. I've always been a more information is better kind of person. I can always scale back the information that I get, but the more that I have up front, the better I can do to make a.
So I think a good way of doing that, but it's just going to be too difficult for you to put that on an Excel sheet. But I think the best way to do that is if you're doing trades on your phone, just do screenshots. Make a folder, put the date or the week of whatever the date is that you did that trade, and just do screenshots. That works a lot better than trying to put all that information in an Excel sheet.
That's a lot of screenshots.
It is, but just imagine trying to put all those numbers into an Excel sheet.
But that seems, that's what he's saying. He won't automate it from. Now they have a place where you can export your trades to Excel. Period. They do have that option. But adding in the Greeks and things like that, from options, I mean, I haven't seen it on any platform, Mike. That it seems like you're asking for a lot. You're asking for a lot, my man. You're asking.
I mean, it's not. Mind you, it's not like. Mind you, the information is there, right? If the information didn't exist, I agree with y'all. But the information is there. Right.
Well, I'm going off the idea that I haven't seen it on any platform, and we're talking probably about 10 platforms I've hit, and that's why I'm saying it's a lot, because it seems like maybe I don't know, maybe you export your regular trades and then you just add those couple of details that maybe you need. But I can see how what you're saying would be beneficial. We are 20 minutes in, so I don't want to stay on E-Trade the entire time.
Go ahead.
So of course, right now, across the globe, guys, when it comes to these platforms, you're almost looking at free trade. The trade commission has almost been wiped out entirely across every platform, because Robinhood came out by 2014, 2015 and said, hey, we're not charging. And next thing you know, maybe about a year ago, all the brokers just had to get rid of it. You know, it was just too, you know, too easy at this point doing over the web, and they had to get rid of it. You do have some brokers who are still you do have some brokers who are still charging for the contracts of options, you know, 50 cents or $1. But you get what you pay for, guys. So when it comes to that level 2, you're gonna see, when you go to look at level 2 on any platform, what you're gonna see is all these letters, and all those letters are different market makers. Now, when it comes to using the best one, right, or the one for the quickest trades, E-Trade might still charge for a contract, but you're gonna get that better feel because they might be going straight to the market makers. Whereas Robinhood, they've already, you know, dropped the article. They got some legal issues going on right now where they're selling their trades. And what that means for you is it's slowing down your trade. So even though you might be getting a free trade, no contract, you're still paying for it because you're getting a slower feel. So you might be losing 2 cents or 3 cents or 5 cents or 10 cents or whatever it is per trade. So either way it goes, you know, y'all know how it goes. There's no such thing as a free lunch. You're gonna pay either way. When it comes to Robinhood, it's an easy platform. You know, you pretty much, you go on there, you wanna hit the trade button, you wanna buy this and sell this, that's what you get. It's straightforward, very easy to use, very, very user friendly when it comes to just trying to get around the platform. Robinhood has the mobile and the web options. You can trade from your computer or from your phone. E-Trade has something you can trade from the web and from your phone. They have 2 different apps, like Mike said, and set up in different ways. And they do also have a trading platform. So a trading platform is something you can kind of pop out on your computer and see charts, candlesticks, studies, all kinds of technical analysis. E-Trade does offer a trading platform. So Ghost already touched on Robinhood. Mike already touched on E-Trade. Getting into Thinkorswim, which is TD Ameritrade, they do also have the same thing, just like Charles Schwab. Even they have a web-based thing where you can trade. You know, very, I guess, old-timey, however you want to say it, but it's, you know, web-based. You can trade from the web. But Thinkorswim they also have a trading platform where you can get your charts, all your studies. You know, you download the thing to either your phone or to the computer, and you have access to every kind of study that you can think of as far as, you know, trading. You can trade and have your charts all in one place on the Thinkorswim platform. So if you're into any kind of day trading or something like that, Thinkorswim will be a great place to start, which is, like I said, by TD Ameritrade. Now, if you're trying to be a day trader, and you don't, there's a requirement. You got to have at least 25K in your account. If not, you can only place 3 trades every, you know, 3 to 5 days or whatever that little saying is. That
3 day trades. 3 day trades. That's 3. Go ahead. 3 day trades. That's 3 trades.
A day trade being right, and a day trade being anything that you buy and sell in the same exact day. So let's just say you're trying to get into E-Trade and you're looking for something to get into where you can day trade and get that experience. You can go to SureTrader. Now SureTrader is, you know, they got a platform with charts and everything where you can trade, but it sucks, absolutely sucks. But you can do day trades, all the day trades you want for less than 25K. It is overseas, so you know you'd be getting kind of a foreign platform, and that one allows you to do all the day trade you want for less than 25K. It's called SureTrader if you're into, you know, anything like trying to day trade. Now if you got into SureTrader and you needed to have charts or something like that and you didn't want to use Thinkorswim, there's this thing called eSignal. You can do your charting from there. There's plenty of free chart places on the web. I think one's called TradingView, very popular. It's just a free place you can go to trade from charts. You got your Charles Schwab, like Mike said. As far as I know, they only have a web-based way to trade. So if you're looking do they still charge, or do they finally get rid of the fees?
No, Charles Schwab options, the charges for stocks, it is zero fee.
Okay, so no trade from. Okay, got it. And then you got Doe, which is another new free platform that you can use, but the fees, I didn't get into them because their fees are really, they got a lot of fees going on over there. They say they're a free platform, but they got a lot more fees kind of just nickel and dime. Like for example, you get assigned on a put option, they charge you $5 for every assignment. Like they got a lot of hidden fees over there on the Doe platform, but you know, it's a new free platform. Another free platform that you have right now is Webull. It's just like Robinhood, you know, everything's free. But the difference between Webull and Robinhood is that interface is totally different. When you hit Webull, they got everything you could ever dream of, every kind of study, every kind of bit of information. They got everything you need on Webull. But when you open that platform, bro, your head is gonna explode. Like it's everything on that thing. It's everywhere, man. And it's just a lot to take in, especially for a new trader. But Webull is very popular right now as far as alternative option to their free platform of Robinhood. I think there's only about 2 more I want to kind of touch on, which is 3. So Lightspeed and Speed Trader are both very popular platforms that people use to day trade because they give you the best feels. When you hit that button, your field goes through instantly. They give you the best feels, but they still these Lightspeed and Speed Trader, they still charge. They will still charge you a trading commission, but they give you the best feels the fastest. That's your one of your main go-to trading platforms for the day traders. And the only other one I wanted to touch on would be Interactive Brokers. They have one of the best margin rates when it comes to what Mike and Ghost were talking about, which is the margin rates. You know, they give you really good margin rates. If you're in margin, basically, guys, just in case it wasn't clear what it is basically you're trying to make trades with money that isn't in your account. You're basically taking a loan while you're doing your trade. But other than that, that's pretty much all of them. Another very important feature that E-Trade, Webull, and there's one more has it that I know. I know E-Trade and Webull definitely have is paper trading, and paper trading is basically just a Thinkorswim. That's the other one that has paper trading. So basically, what you have is you have a platform where you can go on there with fake money. Basically, they said how much ever money you want to have, and just get your feet wet and play around in the market. You would use real time to make your trades, but it'd be fake money. So they allow you to do that in order to kind of see what it's like to actually be a trader without having to risk your own money. So those paper trading options are very important if you're trying to get into trading, but you're not really ready to use your own money to try to figure out or learn. But other than that, guys, I think there's a lot of platforms we touched on. If you have any questions about those or any clarification, I think those are pretty good.
So,
pretty good starting point.
So we're talking at the beginning. This is a lot of information. So,
right.
Do you think we can quickly, in 5 to 10 seconds, agree on the top 3 best trading platforms for beginners?
You go first. Give your top 3. Give your top 3 go.
I'm gonna say Robinhood, Fidelity. That's my 2.
Okay.
The two he uses.
The 2 he likes. Yeah, the 2 he gets busy with. Yes. For me, I'm going to say E-Trade is my number 1 platform. Then I'll go to.
For beginners.
I think for beginners it's good. I think it's a good trend. That's why I use for beginners.
But you got to keep in mind what is that beginner trying to do. So I mean, it's kind of
buy or sell stock. Let's look at buying and selling stock, because that's what a beginner was most likely going to do before they do anything else. I think the platform for E-Trade is pretty significant, pretty easy just to buy or sell stock. I think Robinhood is really up there, and I would probably say probably Schwab. I think TD Ameritrade can be a little bit convoluted. So E-Trade, Fidelity, and Schwab, from what I've used.
Okay. So
or E-Trade, Robinhood, and Schwab. I'm sorry. E-Trade, Robinhood, and Schwab. I'm sorry.
So if you're talking just, that's all you're talking about, man. That's all you're talking about.
He said beginner.
If all you're talking about is buying and selling, bro, it's not even close, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, chat, Facebook, it's not even close. Robinhood's the easiest by far. It's the easiest. Like, I'm talking about 100 miles, bro. It's not even close. But if you're taking,
just when you talk about buying and selling stock, we also have to take into account that all of these platforms will let you do more than that. They'll all let you do more than buying and selling stock. But we talking about just getting your feet wet and getting into it. I feel like all of our top three should have Robinhood in. Like it just
Agreed.
If you're talking about just buying and selling, bro, it's not even close. Right?
Yeah.
It's this thing. Like
one thing
I don't know how many people y'all talk to and show the platform or anything, or if you can go back to when you first started trading, bro. But when it comes to looking at a platform like Robinhood, you just go and it's like, oh, what's this button? Trade? Oh, buy? Like there's nothing else there for you to see, bro. Like you can't mess it up. Whereas E-Trade, there's a lot of colors, there's a lot of words, there's a lot of things there that can get in your way. But
one thing I'll give Robinhood. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
The one thing I was gonna say, it's E-Trade by far if you're just talking about buying something. But the one thing I was gonna say for me, if you're really gonna get into trading, and I'm talking about a beginner, if they're gonna get into trading and they want to learn something and put in the time first, my number one recommendation, even for a beginner trader, is hands down Thinkorswim. That's where you go.
Yeah.
It's TD Ameritrade and Thinkorswim. Like it's hands down, no other questions. That's where you go. It'll take you a little longer to learn, but that's the best place to be. Trading.
It is the most.
Everything.
Thinkorswim is the most powerful platform with the most features, and it's made in a way that it's not. It can be difficult to learn, but it's not like splattered everywhere. And you have the most research opportunities. I think it is. I Thinkorswim is where I do all my analysis. I do no analysis in E-Trade or Robinhood or anywhere else. All Thinkorswim on the web app, specifically the web application. I mean the download application of Thinkorswim.
It's also a great adjunct to Robinhood, though. Like that's the thing. You don't necessarily have to use it per se. You can just use it for the information and do all your trades on Robinhood. Like you,
yes, I do.
Actually, I even forgot to mention that I was using Thinkorswim like at least for 3 years while I was in Robinhood learning. So I would take the information from Thinkorswim and I would implement it in Robinhood. Because Robinhood is still, it lets you execute smoothly. Like at the end of the day, there's nothing smoother than Robinhood. You can always use another adjunct to help you to make your trade in your number one broker of choice.
Yeah.
So we're saying,
if you're just buying and selling, it's Robinhood easily. But if you're really going to be a trader and get into things, for me, my number one recommendation would be Thinkorswim to go with, because it's harder to learn, but it is worth the time. Once you learn Thinkorswim, there's no platform, E-Trade, SureTrader, there's nothing that can touch. I mean, nothing that can stop you at that point. Because once you learn Thinkorswim, all the other ones are under that. You know, in my opinion, they're all under that as far as learning.
You're 100% right. 100% right. 100% right on that one. Especially, it's an advanced trading platform, but it's great. Okay, guys. So I guess we're going to call it a day for today. We went over the different trading platforms. Hope everybody learned something today. Schizzo, anything you want to add before we call it a day?
Nah, bro. We're 45 minutes in almost.
Okay. Ghost, anything you want to add before we call it? Okay, guys. Well, thank you for joining us for episode 11 of Maintain Your Gains. We'll make sure that you are able to maintain your gains for next week, and make sure that if you're going to start trading, today is the day. Have a blessed day. Peace.
Small gains, gang.